All right, we are live. Hello, everyone. I didn't even have my hair together for this live. I just wanted to get to y'all, okay? And I have a special guest with me. Feel free to drop a comment in the comment section. Drop a comment in the live chat and say hi, who you are. Give me a shout out. I have here my niece Zoe Lynn, and she's with her auntie today, and we are going to be talking about fathers in your life and what daughters really want from you. So this should be a good one. I'm going to give you guys a few more seconds to hop on. All right. Hope you guys had a wonderful day, an amazing day. This should be an amazing topic that you guys are going to have the privilege to watch and hopefully participate in with us. So I'm going to get started in about 30 more seconds. You ready for this, Zoe?
Yep.
All right. This is her first live. Is your first live stream? All right. So we're going. Hi. Hello, beautiful. How are you? So happy to have people joining us. Make sure you say hi in the chat if you are on. And feel free to add to our conversation because it's going to be a deep conversation about fathers and daughters and some things that we all need to hear, some things we might be experiencing internally or thought about. So, you ready to do it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go. So, talking about fathers and what we need from them. The first one we're going to say is gentleness. Would you like to talk about gentleness, Zoe?
Yeah, I think that gentleness is important just because they're naturally stronger. Sorry. I think that gentleness is important because men are naturally stronger than women. So whenever they speak, it's important that they are watching their tone. Like you're already stronger naturally. So it's really important to just watch the tone of voice that you use. That would help us to open up way easier than if you are kind of
like a drill sergeant.
Yeah.
Like if you GI Joe with your daughter, you might not get the best response out of her, but you want to be gentle. She's that princess. She's that little princess. She's that baby doll that you want to talk gently to. Like, you would want someone to talk gently to her. Sweet, nice, loving tones. That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So being gentle to your daughter in every way possible is a win. um communication that's healthy. So there's a way to communicate with your daughter, there's a way to communicate with your son. So you can communicate and say, hey, you're going out the house, you look like a slut, or you look horrible today. That's communication. But is it healthy communication? Is it effective? Is it positive? Is it something that's going to register to her? No. So in a nice way, maybe you could say something along the lines of, I care about you and you are like a diamond. So diamonds, they're down in the ground. I read something on Facebook. They're down in the ground, search for, because they are hidden. They're not easily obtainable. You can't see it easily. So you should be like that diamond that's covered up, that's buried, that you can't really see. It's a precious and so refined. It's all about how you say things too, the way you communicate with your daughter. And I'm thinking about, my father, her father, anybody who has a father, we're reflecting on the way you say things. And I'm not saying my dad would ever say anything like that, because he is totally not that type of person to say something like that. But I'm just reflecting on this entire communication. This entire live stream is about the things that would be helpful advice for fathers to know, which would have a better, stronger, more powerful relationship with your daughter that's effective. Because sometimes we think we know what's best, and as parents, I can speak from a mom, but as a father, you may not know what's best for your daughter. You might not know. You might feel like this way may work when it may not. It may work to you, but the outcome that she has with her, it might not fly over well. So I'm just taking this whole live just to reflect kind of on me and thinking about some of my friends and family members, who shared experiences of their father-daughter relationships, because it is very, very important what you instill in her now, and how you treat her now will have a long-term effect later. Would you agree?
I do agree.
Yeah. So we want to get it right from the get-go as much as possible, because there's no blueprint to raising kids. I know, Zoe, you don't have any kids right now, but I do have a son, and he doesn't come with an instruction manual. He doesn't come with batteries. I think he was born with batteries though, because he never stops. But anyway, you have to communicate properly. So that brings me to, just the difference between healthy communication versus just having general communication. Talk on a regular basis. Just having mild, subtle conversations. They don't all have to be deep. They don't all have to be emotional. Just, just a daily check-in of how your day is. Are you hungry? Are you feeling okay? How, what are some things that you want to talk about? Opening up, having that clear pathway of communication helps.
Yeah, it also allows you to know when something's wrong, because if you don't have a general sense of how your daughter behaves on a regular basis, there's no way for you to know when she's upset about something or when she's excited about something. If you don't have that communication with her on a regular basis, you're not going to be able to help her when something abnormal happens.
Right.
So
Yes, that's good that you mentioned on a regular basis, because somebody did a YouTube video and it was like they walked in the door, they were pretending like she was the dad, and it was where my hug at? You ain't seen the children in like 2-3 months. Where my hug at though? And the kid's like, I don't want you. I need school books. I need clothes. Like, I don't know, hug. Where you been for the past 2-3 months? Like, I don't know. It was funny, but you got to communicate on a regular basis. You just can't pop up and start acting like everything is normal. Consistency is key. Consistent communication goes along with healthy communication. I'd say that all pairs well. And I have somebody else who said hello. Somebody said good afternoon. Hi, how are you? Oh, so yeah. Unconditional love. Unconditional love is easier said than done. Zoe did a little sigh. I guess I could do about 2 or 3 sighs myself. But yes, having that unconditional love means so much to a daughter. Knowing that your father will be there for you, whether you make the right decision, whether you make the wrong decision, whether you don't know what decision to choose, would allow her the opportunity to open up to you and ask, can I have help with this decision? Knowing that, she doesn't have to sneak around and get her nose pierced or, a tattoo or, because daddy is not going to approve of this, having that rapport and acceptance, I guess. Acceptance is a form of unconditional love, means so much. Hi, how are you? I see more people in the chat. Thank you for joining. But being accepted is a way for a daughter to know that her father really loves her. Her father really cares. And it can't be acceptance when a father feels like it. It has to be all the time. Even the hardest decisions, some pills you have to swallow and just, take a minute to think, walk away and just come back and revisit the situation. But being accepted is a form of unconditional love. And every daughter wants unconditional love from their father, because that teaches them to have unconditional love from their significant other. We were just listening to that song. Weren't we just listening to the song? John Mayer, it said, daughters be good to your fathers be good to your daughters. Because girls become lovers who turn into mothers, and mothers be good to your daughters too. I jack up song lyrics, but I think that's the gist of what it says. Don't quote me. But that song is true. And he wrote that when he was 15. And it was just very touching to us to hear about, you know, like how he broke it down. It starts with, you know, fathers being loving to their daughters and how they're going to grow up to love someone else, to be someone else's love, and to be a parent who is going to give love too. So I think that's very important. Anything else you want to touch on with unconditional love?
I think it goes into the next thing, support.
Support.
You feel supported. When a father offers unconditional love, a child automatically feels supported. So there's a lot more that they'll probably be willing to do, willing to try, willing to I guess a further they'll go in their lives. It's like you can achieve more when you know that you have someone on your side and in your corner.
And as boring as the Nutcracker ballet you may think is, whoever, I'm just using this as example. I like the Nutcracker, but as boring as you may think it is, supporting her at that recital means more to her than anything else. That memory is going to be golden. It's going to be priceless. It's going to be up here. Yeah. It's more than any money to go buy an outfit or a photo, you know, taking pictures and sending you a photo could ever do. Yeah. Just being present and supporting means so much to a daughter. And having that support is priceless. And knowing that the man who is teaching you how to love, who is giving you love, means a lot. It means a lot to you. I guess let's see, support. We have free of judgment. Now, I have to say that my dad, nobody's perfect, and I have to keep it real on my channel. You know, nobody's perfect, but sometimes my dad can be a little judgmental. Okay, she's laughing because she knows her pop-up, which is my dad. He could be a little bit judgmental, and it can hurt. And it's not intentional, but it's sometimes kind of funny in a way. So we want to be sure that we steer clear of judgment. So judgment, being present, not just around, but involved and available. Yes. Oh, okay. I understand. Yes, these are good points. Yeah, just what do you want to add to that?
Yeah, I think that free of judgment. Okay, so I guess for me, the picture that I get is just a young lady who maybe she's going out the house and she's not wearing what you think she should wear. Like maybe instead of telling her you don't want her to wear that, maybe encourage her, like find a way to turn that negative into a positive somehow, and to not be like, I don't like what you wear, but instead you could say something like, you look so good in this. Like, maybe
right, yeah, yes,
downplay.
Encouraging. Yes, that's a good thing. Instead of downplaying, talk about what you like. You know, yes. Oh, yes, he was an extraordinary father too. Yes, very much so. And we need more fathers like that. You know, very accepting, very easy to talk to, funny, witty. Someone commented about the father, a father in the daughter's life, and I agree because I know them personally. And it's a nice balance. You know, you have to have being supportive, being non-judgmental. It matters. It matters a lot because the world judges. The last thing, you know, one needs is for a role model, a parent to, you know, judge you. Even if it's judging in the best interest, even if it's judging because you care, even if it's judging out of love. it's about how you say things, not necessarily what happens, but how things are said, right? So we all have opinions. We all, might not like some of the actions, some of the choices that they have. My dad didn't like somebody I brought around. Then, oh, he makes it known. But you want to feel like you have a safe place. Yep. A safe space is important. People can thrive off of that. Let's see. In your corner?
Yeah, I'd say having someone that's in your corner, just because the world is just gonna be a bad place. There's no other way to put that. Like, the world is tough and you're going to face tough situations, and there's nothing more comforting than having someone who's, I mean, as cliche as it is, like, they're big and tough. Like, there's nothing more comforting than knowing, like, I might not be able to face that giant, but I know if I tell my dad,
I got you back.
Yeah, basically.
You want to know that, like, oh, my dad got my back. My dad support, if nobody else does, dad got me.
Yeah.
Because that's important for a girl. I mean, I don't know what girl doesn't want a dad to support.
Yeah.
Or to know that doesn't have your back. I mean, it's good to have, a big brother, a big cousin, or whatever. That's all great. Have the whole team, but just as long as daddy's leading that team, that's cool too. Reassurance.
I think when I think about reassurance, I think about, even though I know I'm good at something, when my dad tells me I'm good at something, it takes my confidence to a whole nother level. Like,
yes, it's encouraging, it's supportive. Like, it's like it ain't nothing until daddy says basically that it's something. And then when he puts that stamp of approval on it, yes, then it takes it to a whole nother level. It feels good when you had that reassurance. It's like, okay, I can go out and conquer the world.
Yeah.
I can go out, put the smile on my face, nothing can faze me. What did Remy Ma say? I'm all the way up, nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. You stay all the way up. And it's a good feeling.
Yeah.
So you want that reassurance, that extra push, that you said encouragement. Encouragement, because encouragement feels good. Now, you can get encouraged by other people, but getting encouraged, by your parents, your father, for a daughter's perspective.
Yeah, nothing like it.
It's nothing like it. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And one thing that I can say, that we do come from a family where our fathers love us, and support. We want to encourage more of that behavior to other fathers who may fall short of that, and to encourage them to support that reassurance, that support, that love, that push to provide it, because there are people who are not necessarily getting that, and it's a shame, but you can't save the world, but we know how good it feels. So we want more of that. And for other people who may not be getting that, and to fathers to know that these are important things that you guys should just know that will help. And this is all to benefit, to benefit you. Anything that we're saying is going to be of value, of importance. So, and it works too. It's like, I'm not up here by myself. I have someone else here who is also giving me the thumbs up, saying green light, like, yeah, you're on point, you're on target. If anybody else wants to contribute and add anything to the chat, you can. But right now we're going to go into the last two. We have trust. Trust is something. Okay, so I wasn't the most well-behaved person when I was younger. So what we want is trust. I know that when I didn't feel like I was trusted when I was younger, and some of the things that I did, the mischievous things that I did, it made me feel like, if you don't trust me, then I'm gonna continue to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
I'm a rebel, because it's like, you don't trust me, right? So what's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point of you know, doing anything to please you. If I don't even have the trust, if you already know that I'm going to be doing X, Y, and Z, then what's the point? I That didn't go over well. I got my act together, end up writing a book. So my past doesn't matter. However, you want to be able to have a trust relationship. That is golden. You want, and naturally daughters want to impress their fathers. They
Oh
want to
my gosh,
impress their
yes.
parents. You want to know that, like, daddy will like this, daddy will do this, daddy will like this. So you want to do more and more for them. You want to gain more and more trust. So it's always good to have a trust. And I know it's not easy because as children, as kids, we tried things, that we shouldn't have, but we're less likely to continue on a, I don't want to say a downwards path because you're a child, you don't know any better, but we're more likely to go on an uphill by um trusting. Well, when we trust, when we have that trust is there, we know that our parents trust us, that instills confidence, self-esteem, and everything in us. It boosts everything goes all the way up, and the way we feel about ourselves on the inside. um it's a win-win situation once you have that trust factor involved. I don't know, what do you think?
I
I
agree.
think it's a must for a healthy relationship. I mean, you don't have to trust somebody 100%. I'm not saying you do, but having trust in your child really makes it better. It
Yeah.
makes you feel better inside. It makes you feel loved. It makes you feel comforted. And
And it
it,
also gives the child a, excuse me, it also gives the child a platform to shine, because if you can say to your child, I trust you, or you can show them that they are trusted, and then they excel or they meet your expectations and they show that they can be trusted, then they'll gain confidence, and then you'll be able to trust them with more and more and more.
yes, and it will go long, instead of you having to, you know, create fake profiles to see an Instagram of what your child is doing. They're going to want to tell you more. They're going to want to open up to you. They're going to want to, you know what I mean? Just like, here, dad, I'm dating such and such, or, dad, I want to do this, or dad, I want to do that.
Yeah.
It works, to a certain degree. I know we can't trust, like I said, 100% in entirety, but having a good trusting relationship is a good foundation for any healthy relationship. And let's see, role model the man you want for her. I guess that's, we can end like on that. um you want Somebody once told me, don't marry a woman unless you want the daughter to be just like her. If y'all have a kid,
She said, children have to be taught the importance of trust. That has to be mirrored for them as well.
children have to be taught the importance of trust. Yeah, you
Yeah.
have to mirror trust. You have to mirror all of the things that we talked about. You have
Yeah.
to mirror gentleness. You have to mirror unconditional love, support, judgment, and judgment free, and all of that stuff. So, yeah, and mirroring the person that you would want. Like I was saying, don't marry. Somebody said, don't marry a woman unless you want the daughter to be just like them. Or I guess the same flip side could be with a guy. If you want the guy, if you don't want the guy to be just like um the son, if you don't want the son to be just like the guy, then that might not be a good fit. You got to find somebody else.
Right.
But yeah, you want to mirror, you want to role model the person that you want to role model the person that dads, I'm talking to you. You want to role model the person that you want for your daughter.
Right. And then also children watch, like if you're a dad and you are with, and children watch the relationship. So your
Mm.
child is watching you, and your child is getting tips on how he or she should treat his future by the way that you are treating whoever you're with. So I'm always blessed when I see couples who are doing their thing and doing really well, because um we watch as children. We watch
As children,
so.
we watch, and it starts earlier than you think, like watching from a very young age. 3 years old, 4 years old, you watch and you see how your parents interact.
Yeah, they're
If
like
you're
sponges.
or whoever your parents, if your parents aren't together, your parents' significant other is, how they react. You absorb. You're like sponges. You like take in what you see. And a lot of times you grow up and women wonder, why they're in, certain relationships that may not be healthy, is because they might not have seen healthy relationships mirrored to them.
Yep.
And then women who are in thriving relationships are able to achieve marriage, have seen something that worked for them, or they seen something that was working, that was clicking, that made them want to do the same. And then there's also, I know somebody in particular who has been through a horrible upbringing, is and in childhood, in the earlier years, and did not see their mother being treated well, did not see the foundation of a healthy relationship, but grew up to have a beautiful marriage.
Yeah.
Grew up to have a phenomenal significant other, because they wanted the opposite of what they saw. So that can also be true too. So you can want the opposite of what you have. Of what you've seen, what you were raised to see.
Right.
Because, and I know in other aspects of my life that holds true. It's like, okay, this was this way, so I don't want that. I'm going to do things this way. I grew up seeing this, so I want that. And we're, like she said, we are sponges and we do absorb.
Yeah.
And oh, sorry, my nose. But yeah, anybody else in the chat have any comments, questions, anything for us? No, I guess not. Yeah, I mean, I guess that pretty much sums it up. Gentleness, even temperament, communication, healthy, knowing that you're supported, unconditional love, free of judgment, in your corner, reassurance, trust. Hi, hello. People are just coming in. If you guys want to add anything to this conversation, it seems like people are just joining us. Role modeling and trust, yeah, basically. So once you got that, we're not saying this is the cure all for anything, but because life doesn't come with instructions and a blueprint, we just know, because we're daughters, we know what we would want. And hopefully I can get what sons need from mothers on my next live stream. That would be a really good one. Because that dynamic too is important. And that's going to be an interesting one as well. But unfortunately, we're not guys. Well, not unfortunately, no, it's very fortunate, but we're not guys, so we can't talk on that subject, but we can talk about the benefits of healthy relationships and dynamics with daughters, because we are daughters of fathers who are present in our life. But hopefully this live stream helps and benefits to people who have broken relationships with their father, and that you find some form of healing, or wanting and trying to piece things together. It could be a start for that, a start for just rebuilding a relationship. Because sometimes a part of the problem is people don't know how to build these relationships, and don't know what the ingredients are. But we just gave you some ingredients, so you guys got to get cooking and make something special out of it. Or build on what you already have. That's all we're saying. So don't forget, I think my like button still works. You guys can feel free to press the like button. And you can also share with a friend. Tiffany Cuts the Pain is my Instagram. You can subscribe to my channel and join the dance party. I have other videos on my playlist you can watch on my Learn to dance playlist. And don't forget new uploads every Sundays and Wednesdays. And we do pop-ups too. Like this is a pop-up. Because I already uploaded a video today. You guys go check that out. It's about grief and what to say to someone who is grieving another person. All right. So until next time, this concludes my series. I had a trilogy of 3 of my nieces on my show. This is the last one. So we had one on achievement and high performing jobs. One of my nieces, Dallas, was on there. My other niece, Shauna, was on pretty privilege and how society deems people who are deemed to be beautiful and what it's the truth, what it's not all what it's cracked up to be. And now we're doing it on father-daughter relationships. So this concludes my trilogy, and catch me next time. Look out for me on Sunday. Peace. I think that went well.